I'm just gonna start with a square. Raise it up. This control down here revolves so you can see all sides. I think I'll just go up a little bit higher. I'm just making a four-legged creature, and I'm going to smooth it to 3. Now it looks like a ball, right? So now I can show you how to select a side. You select these sides here, faces, and you can select a face. And when it's selected, you can use the control button. When you click on the control button, you see this. And this is to spread out like that. And I do undo. Or you can go this way, just straight out. Then I can do this other side the same way. So this helps. I'll just try to balance this out. Do loop, loop again. There it is. So the loop, select around the whole thing. Now I want to make it smaller so that it's equal with the other sides. And when I'm thinking that if this is going to be like an animal with like a dog or something, you want the hind area to be more. Right now we have 3 sections. This would be like for the front legs, back legs, but it still has to come out sideways. So I'm going to select 2 sides and just do 2 at one time. I'm holding the shift key when I select the sides. I'm holding shift and I select the sides I want, the faces I want. So now I can hit this again and go out like this, but you can see what happens here. So edit, undo. Now this vector, this thing right here is extrude surface. You can use that. And when you go out, it just, let me see if I can show you what, there it is. Okay, when you go out, you can go out like this or wider or any way you want. So let's do it like this. And then accept it. So we have 2 sides added onto it. This makes it more equal than the way I did it the first time. So now I just make this narrow, since it's the body figure. And on a dog or something, you could select the sides here and bring down legs like this. And since they're all on one side, just bring them straight down like this if you want. The other way would be to do the extrude faces. So I undo. And see, it's kind of hard to work with. Not as easy to pull straight down. And it just keeps going. And then I can go like this, but I want to make it like that. Except, and then this could be rotated, and you can use this symmetry. That way you can make one side equal like the other side, anything you do to this side. So anything you do on this side happens over here. So let's start with the back legs, and I'll just change that to that way. Okay, now I'm going to do the back legs, which will do, nah, that won't do it. Since these are different sizes, this won't work, but we'll try it. See, it's not working. But this would work, should work on the other side. See, since this was equal, the way I did it, it was equal. So if you do both sides at the same time and extrude the surfaces with this, then you have an equal sides. And this is unequal because there's more here, more there, and more there, or less there. Because I wanted the front to be smaller. Then I can just select this and this and this and bring that out, and it'll do the same thing on the other side. Like that. See? So we can get like an animal shape out of this. And if you want to have a tail, then you'll have to do more sections, which you could do this and do a loop, loop, whoops. Okay, do a loop. And with this loop, you can use a line. Go to lines and select this. And if there's something wrong with it, it won't work. Just abort. But if I did that before, edit, undo, 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 undo. Okay, now if I did it before, then I'd be selecting these sides, do loop, and then use the line. Let's see if it got a line on there. Can't really tell that it did. Nope. Abort. Well, the best way to do it is to lower it and then bring it up. So I hold down the pressing down on the mouse to select all the things on one side without using the shift key, and then I move this down. And then use the Ctrl key and bring it up. So now we have area where I can do a tail. and a neck. And on this, you can do it like this. Go undo, undo, and then rotate this. And then it'll go up at a different angle. Now hold Control key down and it takes it out that way. And then rotate it and go out that way. And then make it smaller. So you can pretty much have a rough idea of what you want. And then you can edit everything. Like you can select lines and bring out the neck to be wider. Take these sides in. And then bring the hips out. And I'm holding the Control key down right now. So now we got the hips. And we can rotate that. And then work with the feet. All it is just a matter of tweaking it. Like, take this line, select the line in there, and then loop. And then you can squeeze this line, make it smaller, take it over. And the same way with this, except this is the bottom edge. You'll have to go around and select all the lines. And then let's take it out forwards. And I'll show you how you can select everything to a loop. Ring. A ring means to select all the lines around. Okay, so it selected all the lines around it. Now I'm going to use a line tool on it. There, the line tool just added a new line on there. So I can select this. Loop goes around. And do loop and go down some more. So we have something more like what I might want to use. Get some more muscle on the hips. Bring out the sides. When you do that, it'll curve a little bit if you don't. But let's see. This line right here, I'm going to take it in. Nah, I'm holding the wrong button. I was trying to hold shift to select two lines. Move this in and move this out. There. And when you want this curve to be softer, you have to move these lines in farther to get more of a curve to them when you make the shape. So I'm going to bring this curve in, and I'll probably have to pull that one back to make this straighten out a little bit. There. Same way with this top. Have to take it down. So this is basically how you make a dinosaur. Now I'm not making any particular kind, it's just making one. And you can control this. If you need another line here to bring out the shoulder blade, you just add another line. It's you can start with use this to select a line in there, and like this, and then go down to each one, and then you can link it wherever you want to, and that would accept, and then see what's wrong here. That's got the red showing. See where the yellow is? That means it's not a joint. This red means there's a joint there. And then I'm going to try to go here. That way I can pull it in. And I think I want to come around here. There. So if I want this right here to raise up, I can do that. And bring in lift up this to make a curve in the belly. So now it's got a curve in the belly. And I can bring it in more. Make it more of a curve. And the back would need the same thing, except I think I'll just make a ridge type. Since this is right here is connected, I'll have to bring it all in. I'm holding shift to select all the lines. Now just see, go in with right here. And then maybe go up. And to help trim this up, I want to make a line from here to here so that it's more balanced. Look for the red, click. Look for the red, click. Accept. So now it's more even. And if I want to make this back get lower right here, I just select it and push it down. Oops, that would be wrong. Edit, undo. The green is the high part. Okay. Now you can see we got more of a shape there. these corners right here, looks like if you join it here and here, that would balance out this and make it less of a corner. So there's the red. There's the red. If you want to get it to go straight to the red, you can hold the shift key and that would make it do the same thing. So now I'm going to try to select this node and pull it in. See how the shoulders look. Yep, it looks like that right here. I can pull it back. To get the shoulders a little more inward. There. You can keep doing this and adding details and more details, like this line right here. If I want to push in to make an eye here, I probably not want to go that far, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Then I'm going to push this and go like that. See, that would be a little bit too big of an eye. So I'll just undo that. And let's do this. Just bring these lines back. And then use this dot instead of that so we can make an eye there. I'm holding the control key, but I don't see that thing on it. Anyway, let's see. Vortex modeling. Go with that. I guess from the angle that I'm in, it makes it worse because I can't change the size of it like that. That's what I want. Okay. Accept. See? You can do nostrils that way too, right there. This is more or less an idea. If you want to color it and add texture to it, it might be a little bit early in the design for that, but you can always do it. So I'd get with the UV paint, and then it will create a map. New material. 23. And just set all the surfaces. No faces selected. Set. I'm going to change this color to texture image. Let's go with a larger texture image. And then this brush tool that says paint, and we select the texture and we select the transparency. Like actually we will probably want to do something else. Brush tool. Okay, here it is. If you want displacement, that changes the model. You're actually doing it like ZBrush if you use displacement. But to create a map, you want bump. Texture and bump. So let's see. Let's select a texture. This could be a dinosaur texture, or this could be, and this could be. Let's go with this. And then let's do a color. We can do a texture like this. Let's see if this would match that. Let's try this. Okay, now when we paint, it shows this blue, and that softness goes out from the center. So we make it a larger brush. Then we can paint more. So I'm going to paint more, just paint the whole thing. Then I can rotate it and see the change. So I'm just filling it all. Yeah, it looks like there's a blank spot there. So now we got that texture. We can do a lighter texture for the belly. And remember this brush size, if you zoom in, you see that the brush is smaller. So let's do a belly. And okay. This strength tells how much color is coming out. So I'll go up to 100. Nope. That's how sharp it is. Hardness. Size of the brush. Should be doing a lighter color. Let's go with this right here. This looks like a smaller model. So we'll go back to paint and do a light color. That way we can see it, and a softer texture, more like a grain. I'm not sure what cutoff is, but I don't see much changing on this color. Okay, the color is changing, but the texture isn't. So this paint showing just the texture. So I'm not sure if that's getting anywhere. I could try it out. Just go File, send it as Studio. Oh, looks kind of messed up. So we go back. I didn't do UV maps. That's the problem. Just the UV map is kind of important to get the shape to lay flat. So one of the better UV map making things is this right here. You can select a line, like I'll say, like I'll split this in half, and don't really have a half, so I'll just loop this. And then I'll draw a line to help divide it. And lines. So now we should have a line. Apparently don't. So I'll just make a line. That won't let me do that. So we'll just have to turn off symmetry. Symmetry is off. And then loop. Try a line again. Nope, didn't make one. Guess I'll go with this ring. I gotta abort because this is still on the line. Could just do it all that one way, but I'm going to try to do a line. And I can do ring. And it's got a line through it. So now, see what it looks like. So now that it's got a line through it, I can divide it. Loop. And then unfold, click unfold. That adds that line. So you can see it's got a blue line across it. Then do unfold. And now you got two halves. There's one is there, one is there. Don't really see legs on it. But I'll switch to the, well, go over here to the UV mode, and this right here, just like a polygon lasso tool, I can use that. I gotta accept. So I select faces, and I'll just select all this. That way I can move it. I'll move it over here into this texture area. And then do the same thing, do the same thing with this. So now it should work. Send it as studio. See, that was the big problem with it. So I got the model here, and the texture's not with it. If I save it, then it saves the maps, so I can do File, Save As. Dino. And I have creatures. Creatures in my folder, creatures. Saving this UV map. Then I can go to here and find it. Actually, just go into DAZ Studio and go to surfaces, face, transformer, surfaces, form 1, browse, and see, PC, my folder, Hexagon, creatures, there's the map. See, that's how it would look. So you have to get everything proportioned out right when you do this. That way you can get it right. So you can paint and create this texture or this animal with the all in the Hexagon. Hexagon can do everything. And you just work on it and make it look better. And get all the proportions right. Like this is because this area is large. this area is small. That's why this looks bigger and this looks smaller. And if to make it look right, it'd be better if everything was large like this. And you can see it. See, this is large. This is where the head is, because you can see the eyes in it. But you can also go like this. You can see where it's selected, and you can see where this tail is and all this parts. If you want to make this, first you have to start with this part where it's kind of messed up there. See this thing here is selecting the corner. So you can select that and move it back. And this is just select the top corner, right? Or top side. If it's underneath, then you probably won't be able to select it. So move this over here and select these two, spread them out, move them, then reverse them. Looks like these can't really be explained. And then you select all these. And bring them over here. Make them smaller to fit inside. And you might have to rotate it or flip it. To flip it, you go like this. And if you have trouble, you can go over here and look for it. Like I'm going to select this part, and then I look over here, see where that part is. That's around the feet. This is the legs. That's what makes them look weird. That's the legs. And the next time I do it, I'll probably just be better off cutting the legs out so that they can have their own. It's like the head to the body, then the body, then the legs, and the tail. And have them all separate, and then you can put them all together and paint it. Put them all together is more like you separate it here, but it's all together here. When you paint it, it paints just where it is. Okay, so I guess that would be kind of enough for now. I don't know how long this video has lasted so far, but let's see. This window here is a single window. Do double window, single window. And UV window, perspective window. So you can create stuff, take it right in Data Studio and play with it, check it out, see what's wrong with it, fix it, make it look better, and then go back. And if you want to, you can make your own textures in a drawing program. because this creates two files. It's a texture file, and this is and a bump map to get that texture. Bump map, bump strength. There's the Dino image 8, that's the texture. So now I guess with the bump strength, that I'll see what it looks like when I render it. Looks bumpy. Displacement strength does more. It's more or less like, if I'll show you. I'll cancel this, close it, and then get over here to where this head is, and then do a displacement browse. Use this displacement, and then 10, no, minus 10 and plus 10, it's just a small amount, but the difference between a bump map and a displacement map is the displacement map actually shows the surface texture, and the bump map looks like the shape of the texture, but along the edges it's just a straight line. It don't do anything, just straight lines. And displacement will bring out bumps in the lines to show that it's all textured. So let's try it. It don't look that bumpy, it's kind of smooth. And in a way, the bump works, the displacement isn't. I don't really see the displacement working, because this line is smooth. It might take a while to render to get it, but I guess this pretty much shows everything from going from a oval or a cube into a creature. This is a quick creature that I made up, not full of details that you can put into it. And you see this right here, this is like a lightning bolt. So when this is, you can see that this has all these blocks and stuff in them. And in order to make this more like finished, you click this and it'll finish it, and this shows you how many nodes and lines goes into it with the final look. And when you send it to DAZ Studio, this is what it gets in DAZ Studio. It gets this, all these nodes. So if you save it and send it back, it'll look like this. It won't look like the other part. And then edit, undo. This makes it easier to work with because you have less nodes and less faces. and you can control it because it's square. But when you do this, you can see that it's holding the same texture map. Has the same texture map. If it does this and gets messed up, like this vortex modeling, lines, surface, utilities, and disseminate, that destroys it. These still have all these little blocks here, and disseminate takes the shape and redoes it with less nodes and less surfaces, but it destroys it pretty much. See, it's not straight lines and stuff, and you set to whatever low settings you want. And when it destroys it, then you have to make up a whole new UV map because it won't work. Not when you do destroy the original map. So to accept this, and you see all these like triangles and stuff, that's what you get. It's not as easy to make a map for. And it says that if you do this and accept it, it's permanent damage. But undo is not permanent. Undo makes it just to look at. And let's see. Edit. Undo. Now we're back to the other one. Edit. Undo. Now we're back to the original. So if I wanted to save this and work on it later, add more details and stuff, make the tail go down smaller, make these legs shorter, make it stand upright, whatever, I could change it to make it what I want, and then I can save it as maybe copies. Like this could be a main copy for a dinosaur, and all the copies will use this, and then I change it to make it different for each dinosaur. I guess that's enough for now. It's a good start. I'm hoping that it'll explain how to put legs and stuff on things, but it's pretty easy once you see what I'm doing. And remember that when you select something, to bring it out, you hold the Control key, and it lets you bring another surface out or add more to it. And then if you want to select more surfaces, you can hold down on the mouse and move it around and just scroll over everything you want selected. But then you might be selecting stuff on the other side. You never know. But the thing is that when you're selecting stuff, I want to hold the Shift key to add more to it. So when you're selecting stuff, it mostly only selects one side. And if you want it to select more than one side, you use this selection thing and then select a whole group. And then you can check it out and see if it selects the whole thing, like it did here. This selects everything that was inside that square. So I guess that's good enough. I'm gonna make up another one doing twist and links. So these things right here, this like bend and stuff, those go with 3D lines. Model surfacing, go with this is the bend stuff and sweep stuff. Extrusion lines, and like if you create a circle with the lines, and you want a circle with 3 lines in it to make it. Now this 3D line can be a line for every node here, and you can use, that's when you can use this disseminate and reduce the numbers of nodes. I guess you can. Anyway, if you have less nodes, then you can, like, to less nodes, you add more by softening it, like smoothing. Do smooth 3, and you should have more nodes. But this doesn't seem to be working very good. It don't look like a 3D line. Maybe it's not. That's probably the problem. Anyway, I'll get back to you on another video with doing extrusion and twist. Sort of like you grab a pole, like 3, make something like this, and accept it. And to twist it, you just select something and rotate it, like these lines here. Loop. And rotate it a little bit. And then select this line and loop. Rotate it. This gives it a more of a consistency. Loop. See. Is it more of a consistency? If you were to just twist the whole thing, then let's say do a loop, take it up higher, and then twist it more. And it don't really work. See? And then you can see where it's messed up because they come in too close. But as a shape, it'll still look alright. But if you're making something you want it look twisted without collapsing it, then you have to go with something less twisted, a little bit at a time. Edit, undo, 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 undo. See? It's twisted, but it goes around evenly. There's a setting here for surfaces and stuff to extrude, twist, and many different things. And these chain things is like copy on support. Like you want to make 3 copies or 4 copies, use that and a line, 3D line with nodes in it. Let's see. There's a way to select these, loop, then do copy, edit, copy, and then do paste. And now you only have this. You have the line. So, go with the line, do this, select this, and copy on support, and you can select which way you want it to go. So you can see how that could come in handy. Well, I already said this is enough. Okay, see you next time.